Right on schedule, aren't we?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Go Figure, a toy podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sean O'Brien, the 80s kid. With me is a good friend of mine.
That's right. AC, Mr. MOC, Mint on Card, your other host. And welcome. I mean, Sean, we did it. It's
We did
finally
it.
here.
Finally.
It's been a dream of ours for a while,
We've been
guys.
talking
and-
about it for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, we
Longer.
officially have now launched
Yeah.
our toy podcast.
Officially, yeah. We've been talking about this for quite a while. Longer than I care to admit.
I know, yeah. We had a rain in our schedules and, a few setbacks, but hey, what doesn't have it, right?
Better late than never.
Exactly.
So, yeah, welcome to the show. We're super excited to do this. We're huge toy enthusiasts, collectors. We buy, sell. We do conventions. We sell online. We hunt. We love all things related to toys and pop culture, anything. We'll talk about video games, the movies, TV shows.
And we'll give our reviews on, different things as, the new hot shows that are coming out or out already,
The new hot shows.
The new hot shows.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, definitely. And Sean and I, like we were saying, we've been huge fans and, dare I say it, nerds of anything in the pop culture universe,
Absolutely.
right?
It's cool to be a nerd now.
It is.
It flipped.
It
you know?
flipped. It did
It
flip,
flipped big time.
which is great for us because
Huge, yeah.
But anyway, so welcome to everybody listening. Like we said, this new journey you're going to be with us on, and we're going to share our lives. What we collect. What we're into. Pop culture, toys, collecting, and the world of cons. Like, for instance, this photo behind us. Sean and I think MegaCon 2016 or 2017 with his beautiful
Yeah.
kids there.
We're going to be posting this on YouTube. We're filming this. We'll be hitting all social media too. So if you guys are just listening, behind us on a monitor is a picture of me and Arthur with my kids when they were a lot younger at our booth at MegaCon. I think, 2016 or 2017. And yeah, we'll be talking about our journey through the cons. We do small cons, big cons. I think it'd be very insightful too if anyone out there is considering getting into the toy biz, the selling side of it too. We got a lot of advice and tips we could give out. We'd love to hear feedback from anybody out there, any toys you want us to review, anything you want to talk about or hear on the show. Love to hear suggestions and reach out to us. We'll get all our social media contact stuff out at the end of the show. We'll be talking about stuff, weekly pickups, things we've gotten, things we're into, things we sold,
Yeah.
new stuff that's coming out, stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, just like anybody else, when the insider info of what may be coming out in the next wave of whichever.
Sure.
But yeah, for sure, we'll be.
We got our finger on the pulse of the toy community. That's for sure.
That's true, new and old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about the vintage. You know
I
more
know.
about the new stuff, and I'm more of the
It's very true.
the 80s expert, I guess. Right?
Yep,
That's a
yep.
good dynamic, I think. So let's talk about your love for toys and what you got into. I mean, obviously we both started as kids, so give me a bit your background on your love and collecting.
Well, I was born in '85, so I was smack dab right in the middle of
Yeah.
I guess if you want to say the renaissance of toy making.
You're 1 year
and
off
toy.
of 1984. That was
Uh,
the year.
That's right. I have the power. Who doesn't?
Oh,
Masters
God,
of the
early
Universe,
80s,
right?
Yeah, gave birth to us He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Voltron, just so many cool
So many.
things. I mean, the 80s were so amazing. I think the technology for making toys really hit like this peak where companies were making amazing toys with that technology, and they weren't quite just like 100% profit driven, giving us plasticky, crappy stuff. It was, I mean, we had those like metal parts in the Transformers. Things were just made with before it went just crazy overboard,
Yeah.
cheap and profit at all costs. I feel like it peaked in the 80s with technology and the love
Well, they
of
cared,
toys,
and
yeah.
it took off.
Yeah, it's not that
big
you can't
time.
get amazing toys now. I mean, there's so many
No.
companies out there doing, but you pay for it.
Yeah,
You look at
absolutely.
those high-end toys. It's
Well,
insane.
they finally caught up to us adult collectors. So
Right.
so now they're like, oh well, hey, it's just not kids, it's adults now. So we're gonna make them pay. But whichever.
yeah,
I get it. It's the part of the game. But yeah, for sure. Like I mean, me starting out. I mean, so like I said, mid '80s I was born. So I didn't really get the whole into a lot of that stuff. I mean, I've watched like Transformers and stuff once I got a little older, towards the end of the '80s and the early '90s. But
what were the first cartoons you were watching that had
Oh,
like a
man.
toy line with it?
probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh,
that I
okay.
can remember. I
Sure.
mean,
Well,
dead
that's
on.
good.
I'm
How
still
could I
to
forget
this
to
day.
say Turtles, man?
Yeah.
That's huge. I love Ninja Turtles.
That was a huge thing for me as a kid, and still is to this day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
was the first thing I ever collected that I displayed. I
Okay.
remember because I was kind of too old to play with the toys. I think I was
Yeah.
13 or so when I started getting the figures.
Mhm.
And the first line I thought it was really cool how the 4 turtles were different shades of green. I don't know why I thought that was cool, but I remember I had an empty fish tank at my house, and I had I don't know like 20, 25 different turtle characters,
Very
and I put
nice.
them in the fish tank, and that
Uh-huh.
was like my first display ever.
Nice.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to think back to when I had when I was a kid. I think mostly what I collected was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Universe. Now, Masters of the Universe, the line was dying around 90, so my mom would find some in the stores on clearance, and then like mostly in like thrift stores and stuff. So
Yeah.
I try to get what I could, and then definitely GI Joe was big into that. And I think there was some Star Wars, but see
Well,
now
G.I.
we're
Joe was always in the stores. I don't
Oh,
think they
yeah.
ever had. I mean, every
No,
year
there wasn't a
I think it
problem
slowed
with
down,
that.
like where they weren't cool for a couple of years.
yeah,
but
no, for sure. It's always been a consistent one for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think what else. There was a few like oddball ones, like, and definitely that's another thing too. Where we're gonna get into is like there's gonna be some episodes where we're gonna like kind of talk about those oddball toy
Yeah.
lines,
yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. I definitely want to do some '80s throwback to those
Mhm.
crazy,
like
not so-
Visionaries,
visionary sectors.
yeah,
all that
Mad
kind of-
Balls.
Mad Balls. Yeah.
I mean, even like
There's
the
so many-
'90s for me, like Food Fighters. I mean, if you
Oh,
remember those
yeah.
Barnyard Commandos, like really oddball ones like that,
Absolutely. Chris Star, all those kind of
Yep.
obscure, crazy '80s ones. Bionic Six. There's so
Mhm.
many cool
Yeah,
'80s stuff out there that I like to talk about.
absolutely.
Inhumanoids.
Yeah,
What
now
else?
that's one I'm not familiar with. So
I'll school you on some '80s
all
stuff
right.
for sure. It'll
I'll be
a fun
learning
little
along
journey.
too while we're going with this, so it'd be quite something.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember did you watch the TV show Ninja Turtles first, or did you get the toys first? Was it the show that inspired you to buy the toys, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was the show. I always remember my grandpa used to watch a lot of cartoons with me, like during the week when my mom went to work, and then like on the weekends. I mean, what kid wasn't up early Saturday morning with a bowl
it
of
was
cereal
all about
watching?
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, watching whatever Turtles was on, Transformer reruns, GI Joe. I mean, it was all on there.
Oh yeah, I love Transformers.
I mean, it was always like, I think, what was it, like 7 a.m. to about noon is when that was about that block.
Yeah,
so,
you'd be in your PJs with the footies,
Mhm.
just scarfing down
Yeah,
some cereal,
absolutely.
Captain Crunch, and
you know,
getting your cartoon fix for sure, right?
oh heck yeah.
More cereal.
I'm out of my Frosted Flakes or Lucky Charms, whatever was the flavor of the week there. But
I used to eat the Captain Crunch Berries one, and I would eat all the boring yellow ones first, so that it just left over like just a pile of the berries with the berry flavored milk, and then I would just go to town, man.
that
whole
was another thing
process.
too. What now I'm thinking about it, why we're kind of going back and forth. I think we should do an episode about how cereals used to be awesome because they would market it towards like the certain cartoon series,
Yeah.
and even some of the toys that would come in those things, man, unreal.
Oh yeah, all about the.
Oh,
the
my
toy
God,
that came.
like-
That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
how exciting it was to like dig your arm down in the
Yeah.
box and like grab.
Like,
the
I mean, you
toy
don't
out.
get that nowadays. Once in a while, there'll be a cereal that'll have a little toy in it
We
or
should
something.
hunt down some of those old toys online and see what we
Yes.
can come up with. That's so funny. I forgot
Yeah,
about
you-
that. They
you know,
don't do that
speaking-
now? They don't do that now, do they?
A little bit, not much. Like,
Like
I just
buried down in the toy. Maybe it's like unsanitary now.
well, no, they put it on the
COVID
outside.
put a big stop to that. Can't
Well,
have
maybe.
people putting their
I
COVID
don't
fingers
know.
in the cereal for these damn toys.
Ooh. But I remember, like, just off the top of my head, they used to have like, I mean, it was crazy. Like, speaking of which, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember, I think they had their own cereal line for a little bit, and and in it was attached to
had
it was
turtle.
was a turtle collectible cereal bowl, if I remember right.
The whole bowl was in the
I
box?
swear to God, it was on the front end of the box that they shrunk wrap on the front of it, and there was even like
Oh, it wasn't in it. It was
no,
on the
no,
front?
it was on
Oh,
the
yeah.
front, yeah. And even there was a few other times like you remember like even Addams Family had like a cartoon series back in the day.
Yeah.
They had these
There
like
was a lot of weird cartoon
Yeah.
series. Toxic.
Toxic Avenger. I had
An
a few.
R-rated movie that spawned a kids
Right?
cartoon. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that was another thing too. Like that was like hip in the '80s and '90s. It was like, hey, any R-rated movie, hey, let's spin it to the kids. There was like Rambo, Terminator. It had
Rambo
toy
had
lines.
a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
It was a really cool show.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
should watch some of those old shows and
Should.
do some episodes.
And see, there
on
you
that.
go, folks. So we're gonna probably be reviewing on that.
Sure, we'll go deep
Yeah.
into the nerd culture of these.
Yeah,
old
for sure,
stuff.
absolutely for sure. Because I think even Mr. T had a show at one
Yeah.
point, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the always lovable. I'm a huge fan of John Candy, Camp Candy. That
I
was
don't
another
remember
obscure
that.
show.
I remember that show, but I don't remember
Yeah.
watching it. I don't know that I ever.
I
saw
watched it a
remember
little
was-
bit. It didn't last
big
long. I
John
think it was like
Candy
a
fan.
season or two, but
Well, you were talking about Mad Balls before. Mad Balls had their own show. Like, how dumb is that? Like,
I-
whose idea was that? Oh yeah.
well, speaking of which, kind of on that frontier. I mean, who would have thought Attack of the Killer Tomatoes would have had their own cartoon series?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
So I mean, for sure. So like we're
Wacky
talking like
stuff.
we're kind of going back and forth. I mean, you guys will be on the adventure with us here, and Sean and I have been talking as well. There might be a thing where we actually watch and like we'll have some YouTube videos where like we're just sitting there commentating during the show.
Oh yeah, just play some of his old shows. And
Yeah,
talk
kind of
about
like a
how
whole
weird it is.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 esque type thing,
Yeah, on old '80s stuff.
yeah,
we do that.
exactly. I
We
love
did that
to
with
do
the
that.
Garbage Pail Kids movie. That's a horrible.
I've
movie.
never seen that movie.
Oh, well, there
No,
you go.
there.
We'll do it together.
Okay.
I've seen it multiple times.
Okay,
I
yeah,
revisit it every 10 years. I like to watch it.
all right.
It's just one of those. It's so bad it's good movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love the original Card Line. I mean, I can.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
That's one of my first memories as a kid. I was born in Lexington, Massachusetts. I spent my first 10 years of my life there, and I remember riding my bike up to the closest gas station to get Garbage Pail Kids, and I was so excited. Like I couldn't wait to go up there, and whatever
Nice.
money I had, I would get
Yeah.
1 pack, 2 packs, whatever. And I remember riding the bus to school, and we'd all be looking at them and trading them, and it was. I couldn't believe how big that blew up. It was so exciting.
right?
Even now, they're still so. I have tons of Garbage Pail
Yeah.
Kids.
It made a
not
huge
in-
comeback not too long ago.
Yeah, they revamped that whole card line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a few years back. I gotta look into the newer stuff, but yeah, man, I love Garbage Pail Kids. They're
Yeah, that was one thing I never got into, but I always like obviously I respected it, and it was
Well,
always
it was a
kind of
little
cool to
behind
see.
your time too. If you're born, I mean, they
Yeah.
already it was probably getting stale by the time you were into it. And so we'll kind of develop some segments for the show too.
Mhm.
We'll talk about weekly pickups and
Absolutely.
kind of we're just starting out, so we're trying to figure out the format of the show. And like we said, we'd love to hear any feedback.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. If you guys want to throw in comments when we post this, about hey guys, I used to love this toy line. I'd love to hear somebody else talk about it. Absolutely, we'd love to dive into it and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what we can we
Even
learn.
trolls
If it's
too,
not
guys.
something.
If you want to troll us, go ahead. I feel like if we get the trolls, we know we're doing something right.
That's
you know?
true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, another couple of guys talking about toys. What's going on here?
These douchebags talking about toys. They weren't even born in the same year. Psh, idiots. So okay, we left off with like Ninja Turtles. You
Mhm.
were, and then have you been collecting nonstop? Did you ever get out of collecting?
I did
And then got
around.
back into it.
Yeah, I did around. I think around 12 or 13. I still had the bug a bit, but it got to that point where it was like, Mom was like, she's like, oh, she goes, come on, you're getting too old for this
Oh, she
stuff.
would say that to you.
She did for a little bit there. She was like, yeah,
I
like
can't see your mom saying
a
that.
little bit. Now, of course, not now.
Yeah,
no,
I was gonna say because
but-
like she talks about toys. We're now. How old are you now? Like
I know.
we
Well,
hang-
37 now. So
right. So we hang out with me and your mom. And she's like buying you new toys now. So it's weird to hear her say
My
you're
mom's
too
like,
old
"Oh."
at 13, but not 37.
yeah, she's like, at the store now. She's like, hey, do you have this? This is what you. I'm like, no, I need that. Could you pick it up for me? But no, yeah, there was a point where it was like kind of like.
Were you getting into video games or something too? I know. that
Yeah.
had a lot to
Oh,
do with
yeah. I
video
was
games.
always in. I mean, I've been in ever since the first Nintendo
No, but I
was
guess
made. But
like when I was at age 12, 13, I was getting so into
Yeah.
video games, it became more of a passion than the toys because
Mhm.
that's probably
I agree.
around the same age.
Yeah, it was. I kind of sloughed off for a little bit there. I had like some wrestling figures and different things, and we're talking probably late '90s at this point. So yeah, I was a little phasing out. But I think I started. I'm trying to think. I think I started ramping up again in my collecting around. I started like going through my old stuff and different things and kind of displaying it, and I was selling a few things off, and then I think I
On
got
eBay?
back.
You were like started
Well,
selling on eBay?
eBay was different back in the day than it is now. So, I mean, they nickel and dime you for everything you posted on a thing.
I didn't
on
start
a
selling on eBay
listing.
until 2009 or somewhere around there.
Actually, I didn't really get into eBay until you kind of ignited the spark in me when you and I started hanging out and talking.
Oh, well, you
and-
would first start when I first started talking to you, you were selling stuff on eBay. You weren't even printing your own labels. I was like,
Oh,
come here,
well,
bro. Let
that
me
too,
take you
yeah.
under my wing here. You're
Yeah,
like
it was a whole
handwriting everything
master
out,
grasshopper moment.
waiting in line at the post office. I'm like, nah, bro. That's not how you do it. Come on.
Come on.
Tighten up here.
Now I'm a fully fledged veteran.
eBay Pro. So you started getting back into it, pulling out your old stuff, getting
Yeah,
into
we're probably now we're talking a little out around the late '90s, early 2000s, and I'd probably say around maybe back around 2005 or whatever. I started getting into it because it started getting big. Now nerd culture was starting to get really big around the mid 2000s,
Yeah.
and and they were starting to make those like collectible style type things. So that's when I think I started getting back into it. But I had like
You
such
also
an-
like started seeing like the box would say adult collector, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
stuff
it was,
like that.
Not just for kids anymore. guys.
Exactly. And I had a lot of stuff that I just kind of collected over the years. Like even as a kid, like I quit playing with stuff and I just kind of, all right, hey, I'm putting it in the card, because it was leaving in mint on card as now
That's
I am.
you, bro. AC, Mr. MOC.
That's right. And I think mom kind of dabbled in that a little bit. She wasn't too like, oh no, you're getting older enough for it. But she was kind of like, all right, well, hang on to it, because she kind of saw stuff like that when I was showing her like this is worth money now, and she was like, okay, well, put it away, and that's like an
keep it
investment
nice.
type thing,
Daddy, stop shellacking your Princess Leia dolls. Ma!
no, nothing like that. But anyway, really, to be honest, I think I kind of got out of it a little bit. Now that I'm thinking about it, you kind of reminded me of that with the Princess Leia thing. I think what happened was right around the late 90s is when the new Star Wars line came out. That everybody's like, everybody rushed to. Absolutely. And I think that's what kind of sparked it again in me with the collectible. Now I'm thinking about it.
With the 90s
Yeah,
Star
it
Wars
wasn't
stuff?
like
really?
I focused on that for a while. It wasn't like I branched off to other stuff. Around, like I was saying, 2005 is when I started branching off into other different lines. But I stuck with the Star Wars thing because obviously, like everybody else, Star Wars, once the 80s lines went out, that was it. I mean, everybody's like, oh my God, this is the new hottest thing. This is the investment.
Right.
Hey, this is like
it was like so overproduced.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody kept them on the card. It was like
now, speaking of which, I was just looking on social media, and somebody had posted a photo of back then and now. Like back then, I mean, literally, if you went to like a Toys R Us or Walmart, I don't think was that huge back in the late 90s, but I mean, there was like a full aisle dedicated to just Star Wars, both sides,
it was
loaded
super
to the
popular.
hill.
I mean, it was like the prequels came out. It was like Star Wars is back.
Absolutely.
Everybody thought they were gonna be millionaires off the toys. And the toys were like the way they designed them were lame too. Like everyone was jacked, like Luke Skywalker,
I know,
big old chest. Like, dude, he wasn't.
Well, let's save that for a future episode, though.
Right, yeah.
I know you're
Am I
getting
going-
into it, and I understand. Me too. But the thing when
I
I
get
wrote,
emotional when I start talking about the prequels. And
I know.
what the hell happened to Star Wars.
well, all right. Well, that'll be a few episodes in, but
Mandalorian makes me happy.
that's true. Very true.
All right, yeah, but anyways,
But,
so you started to get back into Star Wars.
So yeah, and the thing with Star Wars is like to finish up what I was talking about when I saw that photo, and nowadays you go like Target, Walmart. I mean, it's like a little spot. That's all it's dedicated to. It's a little spot right there, and there's barely anything there. I mean, granted, we're going through this whole supply shortage and whatnot, but still, even to this day, it's got like a little dedicated spot, and that's it. But anyway, well, we can rag on later on about it when we do our Star Wars episodes.
So how old were you when you were collecting these Star Wars figures and you're getting really good?
I was right around. I think like I said, I kind of sort of got out, but I stayed with the Star Wars. It was probably around 11, 12, 13-ish, right around there, because that's when, I think if I remember right, it was right around 99 was when Episode 1 came out. So before that, it was like 96, 97 was when they were bringing out the original trilogy figures, when the Power of the Force, when they were releasing that. So, and I kind of, even though I got a little late into that because I was kind of like dying out around the mid 90s, about with different things. So I didn't even get too much into the orange cards that first started it. I was more into the green cards I started collecting. Yeah. But anyway, but I'll save that for a future episode. But yeah, so
I had a whole bin of those at the last con we did. Remember, I had a whole bin of those.
Oh yeah, everybody was trying to like buy it
Everyone's
off.
Like, you want to sell those? Like the whole bin, like $2 a piece? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not. Why would I want to liquidate this?
They're going back up. Some of them are going back up, ticking up.
But they always sell. Like the shows, everyone loves Star Wars stuff, and they like that stuff on the card, even though it's 90s. I mean, they always sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about you? When did you kind of? Because you're a handful of years ahead of me, so
Well, obviously I was huge into action figures when I was a kid, and
Sure.
growing up I was born in '78, but growing up in the '80s, I was huge
Oh,
into
man, that's
all
like
the
a-
classics we just talked about.
Yeah.
Voltron was my favorite thing growing up. I loved the Lions. Even more than that, I love Vehicle Voltron, the Dairugger. That was such a cool thing to me. But I
Nice.
had tons of Transformers, tons of He-Man, GI Joes, Thundercats. All that stuff was so cool.
Oh yeah, me too. Thundercats. I had a, and I still do to this day. I got a decent vintage collection of Thundercats, man.
Yeah,
that was a
love
favorite
vintage
show of mine as
Thundercats.
well back in the day.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
hold up well. You watch it now, and it's just like
Yeah.
Lionel walking around doing monologues.
Uh,
Oh no, a lake of acid! Dun dun dun.
I have to say though, the mystique of an '80s cartoon, I actually like the whole PSA they used to do at the end,
Oh,
and stuff.
Well, watching them is very nostalgic.
Yeah,
it
oh,
brings you
yeah.
back, but like you can sit there and watch episode after episode.
They
You'd be
try
like,
to give a
"Nah."
little bit of education to it. I kind of like that back in the day. No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
it was
some of
great.
those new ones they got out are just so goofy. It's just like with the whole over exuberation of like it's like oh my god, like the eyes are
Like the
bugging
anime-
out.
Oh,
and,
like an
and-
anime style.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
a big into that. I know it's like
no,
a little
I like
overboard
some
with some of
anime
the
stuff.
stuff. No, I do, but it's
That-
just some of that over the top stuff they do where like
Yeah, I know.
every little thing they do, it's like their facial features are like extended out from their face and everything.
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
it's weird. It's corny.
yeah.
They revamped the Thundercats show, and it got canceled after one season. It was actually really good. I was totally into it.
Oh yeah, I did watch a few episodes of it.
Did you
and
see
I never,
the one with the leaf people that live their whole lives in a day, and they're like fighting with Lion-O?
Maybe I might have.
Dude,
I
I
might
was,
have
like,
caught
crying
that.
at the end of
I
that
gotta
episode.
I gotta
I was all
rewatch
choked
that
up.
again.
Oh, it was good. I
Yeah.
was super bummed. That's funny because when that line came back
Mm-hmm.
out too, I remember going to Toys R Us. I was like, oh, I'm gonna collect all these Thundercats.
It was on Cartoon Network, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get the Chitara, the shorter ones, the 3 3/4.
Oh yeah.
And I was, because the Lion-O was so common, and I bumped. There was some other guy there looking for toys too, and I was looking at the Thundercats, and he's asked me a couple of questions, and then one of the employees came around the corner. I was like, "Hey, do you have any more of these in the back? I'm looking for the Chitara figure." And he goes, "Let me check," and because I think there was like one per case. There'd be one
Sure.
or two, one Chitara, one
Mm-hmm.
Panthro in every case. And he's like, "Oh, he came back out and he had it." And I was like, "Sweet." And he opens up the case, and the dude I was talking to, like, kind of swooped in front of me and like picked up the Chitara figure. And I'm standing there thinking, like,
Wow, what a
what's-
douche.
What is about to go down here?
Yeah.
Like I asked for this figure. Asked this employee. Had I not said that, you wouldn't even known that maybe there was some back there. And I was already looking at all these Thundercats
Yeah.
figures. So he's looking, and he was weird. He was quiet, and he's looking at it. I'm thinking, is this dude about to just try to buy that when I
Yeah,
just
right?
asked for it? Like, it's about to go down in Toys R
Totally
Us.
like
I'll-
swipe in on
Dude,
you.
I'm like, I'm gonna backhand this bitch. Like, and then he kind of like thought about it for a while, and it was just weird. And then he like handed it to me without saying anything. I'm like, he was thinking about it. Like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
about to go down.
See, well, I'm glad it
I
ended
would've,
up
like-
in your favor, but listen, I've seen my fair share of dirtbag collector moves in a store, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, get it. Listen, we
People
all.
get violent.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've heard stories of like some like full-grown adult grab a toy out of a kid's hand and run off. Oh, yeah, and a
God.
couple
I
of
would,
collector groups I'm in, like-
jump kick a guy. If he
Oh,
did that to
yeah.
my kid.
Awful.
Not that he cares about toys, but
I mean, I witnessed. I was at a Target down in Kissimmee, and I wasn't even there for anything particularly. I was just like looking around, and I happened to see a group over in the electronics section. Anytime that's always a cause for either the new games dropping or there's some new collectible that is over there that they're waiting on. And sure enough, they were waiting on some new Funko Pops from
people go crazy for those
Yeah.
Funko Pops.
I think it was like Destiny 2 or something. There was an exclusive from
Yeah,
Target that they were waiting on. And I think there were some horror pops. And I was like, I'm just going to hang out, see how this plays out, right? Just
Right,
what the
right.
hell? I'll see what they even got, they're waiting on. So all of a sudden, they finally after a while, after they were complaining, a few of these people, I guess they found the couple boxes that the store was supposed to have in stock. And so they bring them out and they pick the top up, in their display. And before anybody else could do anything, this one guy just comes in and starts arm scooping everything, just grabbing stuff left and right. And I mean, it was the most douchebag move I ever seen. And then there's like this one guy, like a few others got what they needed and they left. This one guy, this one younger kid comes up and he goes, "Oh man, what did they have here? What's going on? What did I miss?" And, the guy's like, Yeah, and the guy straight up looks right at him and he goes, late to the game, bro. And I'm like, wow,
What
man.
a
I'm like,
douchebag.
dude, I would love to have punched him right in the face. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous. I'm like,
Late
really,
to the
dude?
game, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
late
flipping
to the
these pops
game. Yeah.
all night.
Man, I'm going to flip these right in your face, man. That's
yeah,
right.
It's crazy. People get. I remember heard a story
Awful.
at Spooky Empire. They had some select Elvira, some
Oh, my God. Yes.
con exclusive Elvira.
Yes.
You remember that story?
Oh, it was
People
awful.
were like getting like fist fights because they didn't
They
have as
waited
many
like
as they were
12
supposed.
hours for
Yeah,
that
it's
pop.
insane, bro.
And it didn't even show up because
Yeah,
they
it's
had
crazy.
some
People get crazy,
shipping
man.
issues or whatever. And it was awful. They were waiting there all day. And then finally, I think a few of them got it or something.
Yeah, it
and then
was
there was a
nuts.
fist fight happening. It was ridiculous. Oh, my God.
Remember the pop that you keyed me on that was only available at Epcot?
Oh, yes. The Figment.
the
The
Figment.
35th anniversary
Yeah,
Figment
because
pop.
me and you were working a job out there
Yep.
at Disney, so we were going to be there before anyone could even get into the park.
That's right.
So we had the drop on
Mhm.
anyone going in there, and as soon as the store opened, we snuck off over to the store to buy some.
And the
Remember?
nice manager over there let us in.
Yeah, they let us in.
Yeah.
And I remember because you got in line first. You could only buy 10 at a time, right?
Yeah,
That was
that was the limit.
so you got your 10, you got in line, and you
Mhm.
set your one down on the counter, and I had my 10, but I snuck up behind you and I took a picture of yours on the counter with my iPhone.
Yeah, jump
You're
the
like,
gun.
what are you doing? And I instantly went on my eBay app and I listed that Funko Figment
Classic Sean.
with a picture of yours. Like I was the first. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I'm the first one on eBay to have this Figment pop listed. Dude, they were selling for crazy, bro. Remember?
Yeah, they were. I mean, both of ours, they
Yeah.
went that day.
So much that
That
remember
day.
our friend Matt was out there working with us. He's not even a toy guy.
No.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna get in on this. I'm gonna buy 10 too. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. And then he like couldn't. You didn't have an eBay account.
No,
or
he
anything.
didn't have
I'm like,
anything.
But he was just all in the moment. He ended
Yeah.
up selling them to me later, and I think he tried to sell them to me for more than what he paid for. I'm like, no, bro. Like, you're not making money off of me. Like, you bought
Yeah.
those. You don't have to do with them now. I'll give you what
Uh,
you paid for them.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well,
so, anyways, yeah,
yeah.
we went way off track there.
No, I know we
was,
did. But we got many stories like that, guys.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
look
yeah,
forward
sorry. I guess
to
we
those
gotta-
in the episodes.
rein it in and stay a little focused, or maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe we just keep it organic. And
But well, anyway, I think it's a good time. Maybe we'll button up this episode and
what are
then
you talking about? I haven't even talked about the rest of my child. You got to talk about you were a kid till you were like in your
oh my
teen.
God,
I
that's
didn't
right.
even get
I'm
past
sorry.
like 7 years
Jumping
old.
the gun.
Horrible.
Sorry, bro.
It's okay. I mean, now I
apologize.
kind of want to end the episode depressed now.
Sorry, bro. Come on.
No, I'm just
Come
kidding.
on, I
So,
want to hear it.
yeah, so
I
I
want to
was a
hear it,
kid.
and everybody else wants to hear it too.
They're just chomping at the bit. to hear
Chomping the
more.
bit, bro.
And I was one of 4 boys, but my brothers are older than me. My closest brother in
That's
age
true,
is
yeah.
older than me by 10 years. So I
Mhm.
wasn't an only child, but I was, when I was 7, my other brother was 17, my other brother was 19, 20. So I kind of got treated like I was spoiled like an only child. I got so many toys. And I just had the coolest stuff, man. Like those 80s toys were amazing.
No, they
And,
were. They put high quality into them. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I mean, to a point. Some of them. I mean, obviously they cut some corners, but there was Transformers in general, right?
Dude, Transformers were just like
I mean,
ahead of their
nowadays.
time.
Oh yeah, I mean that was
Um,
all metal. Nowadays
yeah.
it's just all plastic.
But I got into all that stuff. I had tons of Transformers, all those guys.
Mhm.
I think I was collecting the Turtles, like I was talking about earlier, and I displayed those. And after the
Yep.
Turtles, I got super into like video games, and I wasn't collecting probably till I was like, I stopped around 13, 14. I don't think I really collected anything else until I was like 19 or
Well, wait.
20. I would like,
well, 13, 14, what that brought you around mid 90s, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
13 or 14 for me, that was like early 90s. But after the Turtles, I didn't really
They
collect
had
anything.
Yeah, they had a few decent, good toy lines around there, but a lot of it kind of fell off
A
by
lot of
then.
90s stuff is kind of cheese. So
Oh
like,
god, yeah,
like
don't
those
get me
X-Men
started on
toys, the Toy Biz stuff.
Yeah, the
with
Toy Biz stuff.
Like none of the girl
Yeah, no.
superheroes looked cool. They all had weird faces. But anyways, I started to get back into it with when Todd McFarlane started coming out with his stuff.
Oh,
He
well,
started
that's
the
understandable.
Spawn toys and the detail.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, these are really cool. And
Still to this day, I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
really do a
he-
great
oh
job.
my god, his company has just become something amazing.
Yeah.
But that's what got me back into it.
Okay.
Was those looked cool. I started getting into that. Then I kind of started collecting like Nintendo games, and I started remembering my old toys. And I remember I bought from some toy line. I bought some online company. I bought a complete Optimus Prime, and I got it delivered to me. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I started to
Nice.
slowly get back into it.
Mhm.
But when my son was born, my son is 12 now, so like about 12 years ago, I remember
Mhm.
thinking, oh man, what was it like to be a little kid, all my cool toys. I'm going to build a collection for him, and I'm going to hand it off to him.
Mhm.
So I started getting all the stuff I used to play with. I got like an original Cobra Commander. That's the time I was living in Las Vegas, and if you ever watch Pawn Stars, the expert they bring in on those shows, Johnny Boy,
Yeah.
he had a toy store. He's got a huge toy store now, but when I met him, he had like a smaller store that was in I think he rented like some clubhouse in a condominium place or something,
Really?
something weird like
Oh,
that.
wow.
And he had so much stuff in this small area, but the coolest stuff, man. And he just knew.
I would love to go visit his store.
Oh,
in
his
Vegas.
new store is on the old strip in Vegas. It's massive,
Nice.
man. I mean, he's done very well for himself. And that
Good.
guy is so knowledgeable and very cool.
Oh yeah, I mean you can
So-
tell when you watch the show.
Oh yeah, like there's nothing he doesn't know about.
No.
So I started buying from him, just collecting,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started talking more and more, hitting it off more. And then I would buy in bulk from him, and he would give me a better deal. And that's when I started selling stuff on eBay, and I ended up doing my first convention. I moved from Las Vegas to LA,
Mm-hmm.
and I did my first convention there. I think at where they have the Rose Bowl, which is like North LA somewhere, I forget. And I did pretty good at this convention. I don't know. I think I sold like $400 or $500 worth of stuff. For me at the time,
It's not bad, no.
yeah, I was like, wow, this is cool. I can make money flipping
Better than my
toys.
first convention I ever did by myself.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you told me that horror story.
Oh, God.
So then I ended up moving back to Orlando
Mm-hmm.
and just never stopped. I've just always been into collecting since then. Now I
Nice.
have like a monster collection. We did
All right.
MegaCon together and big
Yeah.
shows like that. Now I'm super addicted to toys.
Well, me too. I mean, my collection as a whole has scaled down substantially because I mean, adulting and whatever else you want.
Sure, you
Call
got
it, I
bills to
mean,
pay.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta start cashing in toys to pay the
Yeah,
pay the bills.
Yeah,
you know?
I've done that before, but
It's like,
yeah, I mean, I was so far now. I mostly have centered around just collecting. Still Star Wars Black Series. I love those. The 6 inches.
Those are cool. I don't collect them, but I
Yeah.
like them every time I see 'em.
Especially with the new packaging they have now. Oh, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
I hear all about those black
Oh
series.
yeah, I love them. And then I'm even dabbled in a bit of the vintage collection, the little 3 3/4 that they've come out with.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Anything that looks like the old card from the 80s,
Yeah.
I like. It just has such a cool nostalgia.
Oh, absolutely. And
Origins, obviously.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Huge
Master
in
Universe.
Origins. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
huge.
in that Origins
Me
line,
too.
dude.
And you're even more so. You're more a completist on it than I am. Which
Yeah.
I have to. There's a couple things that I don't have that I need right now. Like I definitely want to get that She-Ra San Diego Comic-Con one. That's at least I can afford that. That Power of the
That one? The one that I
yeah, the
got?
one you have up
Oh,
up
yeah,
top
yeah.
up there. The one that
I have a huge Origins display in my man cave. We're
Yeah, it's
recording
beautiful.
this podcast in my man cave right now, and there's toys galore. I'll do a YouTube
yeah,
video.
you got a
that
great
does like
setup in here, bro.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. The
Mhm.
He-Man collection's taken over. It's everywhere. I got my vintage He-Man behind me.
Yep.
And Origins over to the right. I'll do a whole tour of this man cave, and I'll put it up on YouTube because I got a whole wall dedicated to Deadpool. I have a vintage. I have an original Donkey Kong arcade machine.
Mhm.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. That's
What?
my favorite thing in my collection that I have now. I guess it's my most valuable and one of my favorite things. But like, what's the coolest thing that you own? Maybe not the most valuable, but something that you really appreciate, or you like every time you look at it, just puts a damn smile on your face.
Wow. There's
It's
a few
lot.
things in
I
my
guess
collection.
you could throw out a couple things.
Yeah, there's a few things in my collection. One of the main things that I absolutely love because the detail is beautiful, and like I said, I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Is I have the big 1/24th scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the original movie.
Oh,
all
yeah.
4 of them up in my office.
Oh, you have all 4?
I have all 4 in my office, and I still need.
What year did those get produced?
That was. Well, they just started coming out when you and I were doing cons together. So we're talking maybe around 2014. I think they started coming out. They did 1 by 1 each year, and I just love those things. The detail on them
we're
are
a huge
beautiful.
Turtles fan, too.
Oh yeah,
I love that
especially
original movie.
it's classic. It's super classic.
I used to watch that, rewind it, watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Rewind it. Like I was obsessed with that movie.
me too. I still watch it to this day. I mean, Netflix has it on now, all 3 movies. I mean,
yeah. I
the
still
third
haven't
one.
seen
me-
I've never seen the third one.
Ugh,
It's rough.
It's rough,
The
but
secret, that's not. Oh,
but
that's Turtles in
we
Time.
can do
right?
that. We're gonna do garbage pail kids with me. We
And
can
we'll
do the
we'll
third
do a
turtle
we'll do a
movies
double
with you.
feature.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
it is rough, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the cheese level went extra cheesy on that
cheese.
one. Yeah. But
Well, we got that convention coming up that's got the Turtles and Vanilla Ice.
Oh, that's
Isn't
right
that
in
next
town.
week? Or this
Yeah.
weekend?
No, it's this weekend.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
go?
I can, man. I'm out of town, so
Oh, that's right. You're going to
yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, so I can't.
I don't know if I'll
do
be
it,
able to go too. I
unfortunately.
got that job that I'm prepping for. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to go, dude. I mean, I can't miss Vanilla Ice and the Turtles. You kidding me?
That's a killer concert.
I know.
I definitely want to make that at some point. Obviously, I can't do it this weekend, but
I'll take some videos for you.
thanks, B. But
Probably.
but that's probably one of my favorite part of my collections.
What are those worth?
Oh God, they're probably. I mean, they retailed at the time for like 100 and a quarter. So I mean, they're up double that now. So,
So you got about $1,000 in those.
probably yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
your favorite thing in your collection.
that's one of my
Do you
big
look at it every
favorites.
day? Do you come
Oh
over every
yeah,
day and
I got them
give
on
it
a
a look?
top shelf, display real nicely.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then I have I don't remember the toy company. I'd have to take a look at it. But my mom, I'm a huge Blues Brothers fan because I'm originally from Chicago, and my mom, remember Spencer Gifts? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's still some around, but when Spencer Gifts first came out, Universal, I think it was a Universal MCA Pictures actually owned those stores. So a lot of their their IPs, their intellectual properties, they had in there, of collectible lines, and they produced these beautiful Blues Brother dolls. I have. I'll have to take a photo and I'll put it up on our social media. I have these big versions of them that I have up in my office, and then there's like 12-inch ones, and I have both of them. But those big ones are great, and the box displayed in it and everything. I love it. My mom got on clearance at Spencer's when they were getting rid of them, and I've had them ever since. That's probably a marquee in my collection. And then, of course, I have like a lot of my vintage toys from when I was a kid, like my Masters, which I still have yet to display downstairs. And then I have, I have some of my new. I have like my new Star Wars stuff I have displayed. But yeah, those ones I told you were probably my marquee ones that I absolutely
Right. Yeah,
love to death. That I'm like, I'm never getting rid of these bad boys.
That's cool that you still have toys that you owned when you were a kid. Like I
Yeah.
don't have any of my toys from when I was a kid, and that bums me out. So I wish I had like just one that I played with when I was 7 or whatever. The only thing I have from when I was younger is I have my original Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat video game. It's in the box. It's like mint, and I have Twisted Metal 2 and Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
My PlayStation games, and I played the actual ones that I had when I was 16 or
nice.
around that age. Yeah,
Okay.
I have those. So that's cool that I have those. Like the coolest thing I think I have is my Donkey Kong machine. By the way, my personal best Donkey Kong score is 885,400. Got my first kill screen last
that's
week.
right.
And I live streamed.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I live streamed the whole thing on Kong Club. It was sweet. I down to my last man, dude. I almost didn't pull it off. So
Oof.
huge moment in my life.
I bet.
So, and then I have my Godzilla Shogun Warriors from the old one. It's like 18 inches tall. Oh, which reminds me, since it's our first show, I'm so excited to do this with you. I got you a little gift.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have, bro.
I shouldn't have, but I just just
Oh,
joy on
sweet.
your
Look at that
face.
thing. A
So-
miniature Shogun.
Yeah, this is a miniature version of the Godzilla figure that I have. I'm just a little close up here on our
Very nice.
bootleg GoPro camera that we got filming. So yeah, that's for you, man. I picked this
Dude,
up when I
thank you
went
so
ice
much.
fishing in Massachusetts to go see my brothers last
man.
weekend. I
It's
did
killer.
I did some hunting while I was up there. Went to some comic book stores, some Targets, some WalMarts, and yeah, they had those.
Very nice.
The Super 7 Shogun Godzilla
Oh,
figure.
man, that is
pretty
killer.
sweet, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and the detail, it's like dead on.
It's dead on to the original figure.
Look at that
right?
thing.
Yeah. no,
Oh,
it's
man.
awesome.
Well, speaking of which, since you got me something, and so the inaugural episode,
Yeah.
I've got you something.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Sweet. I was gonna be sad
And
if you didn't.
Here we go. Speaking of Transformers,
What is that?
Look
I've
at
never
that.
seen this.
I know. Merry Christmas.
This is
Even though
a
it was a
Super
couple
7
months out.
Reaction Optimus Prime figure,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a Christmas edition. I didn't even know this existed.
I didn't either until I saw it in the store.
Let's get a close
Look
look
at
at
that.
that.
That's,
That's sweet,
right?
dude. Well, you know I'm a
Look.
huge Optimus Prime fan.
oh heck yeah. Who is it, man?
Oh my gosh, that's so rad. Thanks, bro.
You bet,
Look at
man.
the little candy cane gun. That's so cute.
I know, right?
His blaster is white with the red stripes. I don't know if you can see
It's
that.
killer.
That's awesome, dude. Oh yeah, I'm never gonna sell that. I'll be one of those things I never sell. I don't know that I've ever sold any presents you gave me. I don't think I have.
I hope not.
I probably will one of these days. I'll let you know.
Gee,
if I
thanks,
do.
bro. Appreciate that.
But what else do I have? Oh, Mike, I have some original Panache Place carded Voltron figures.
Oh my God,
You've
yes.
seen those? Those things are like
Dude,
mint.
oh
I should get them graded. I think.
Really, you should.
I should,
I,
yeah.
I'm not kidding you, because I mean, you have them in that nice display case over here, and those things are. I can't believe how you got them so mint.
Yeah, I got Hagar. I have Hunk. Oh my god, I hope that's his name. I'm
The
such a.
Hagrid Witch,
I
right?
have Hagar, and then I have the Hunk.
Hagar the
Isn't it
Witch?
the fat guy, Hunk.
Yeah, I think so.
The chunky
yeah.
guy.
Oh yes. He's the yellow
The
tiger.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I got
The
two
yellow
of the
lion.
Robies.
Sorry.
Yeah, but those things are money, dude. I think I should get them graded.
I absolutely think you should too.
What else? I guess that's it for. I don't really have anything I have a Fortress Maximus.
Oh, that
Is it
thing's
one of the
pretty.
two-
Yeah,
I
it's
think so.
pretty
But it's
sick.
missing a lot of stuff. It's got barely any accessories. Missing his head.
It's okay.
And I have that Cyclone. I have that original
Oh, that's a beautiful piece
Masters of
too.
the Universe Cyclone still on the
Yeah.
card. That's a nice one. There's
Yeah.
no yellowing at all.
And
in the
Sean
blister.
almost sold that. I had to reel him back on that.
Oh,
you know?
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Almost.
glad I didn't.
Almost lost that one in the collection. Glad I had to reel him back on
I do
that
some
one.
crazy stuff at the cons. I don't know what's
Yeah,
wrong with
he
me.
does.
I
I
got
don't know.
issues. But yeah, I don't know. I think you feeling pretty good. I feel like that's a good first episode.
Absolutely, I think so. And like I said, we're going along with this, and we'll try to tighten it up, or hey, we'll just do just two guys talking here.
We're just two guys talking about toys. It's not launched yet, but maybe by the time I get this edited and put out there and everything, I created the YouTube channel. There's nothing on there yet, but hopefully by the time this airs, that YouTube, and the YouTube channel is Go Figure ! A toy podcast. That's the name. And then we have social media that we're going to get going too, which is all the same, that name as well.
Yes, Go Figure Toy Podcast is on
Toy Figure Podcast? Or
No. It's just Go Figure Toy Podcast
Go
on
Figure Toy.
Instagram. And also, too, if you guys want to drop us an email, it's Go Figure Toy. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I do take that back.
The email.
The email is gofiguretoypodcast@gmail.com. However, the Instagram handle is Go Figure Toy Pod.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll get Facebook going and all that stuff going. It'll
Absolutely.
all be connected. You'll
Yeah,
find us.
and we'll post, we'll connect everything, and you guys will be able to access it. So
We'd love to hear any comments, questions, anything you'd like to hear in the show. Any ideas for any segments you think that would be cool?
Yeah,
We'd love to
absolutely.
hear all that stuff.
Drop us a handle.
We'll be doing some toy giveaways as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how we'll do that. Maybe like, hey, best comment in this show gets whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing.
Right,
yet.
yeah, not yet. We haven't quite figured that portion of it out, but
Right.
we'll see.
We'll do some. We're gonna do. I want to do some live videos from when we're doing shows, when we're doing
yeah,
conventions, even whether or not
Couple
we're,
hunts.
if we're a vendor or going
Mhm.
hunting.
Yeah.
Which I'm like huge into hunting now.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't
me
had
too.
that drive for a while, but the Origins really kicked it up for me.
Yeah, you and I used to go quite a bit, man. I like to rediscover that again.
Right, but we, not just Target, Walmart, but
Oh,
we'll
no,
do
no,
flea
yeah.
markets. We'll
Mhm.
do like all kinds of stuff, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, garage. You got to really get out there, and if you want to
Mhm.
find some cool stuff, man, you got
Absolutely.
to fire on all cylinders and look at all. Maybe we won't talk about our secret little honey holes we got.
Yeah, no, sorry,
Sounds
sorry, guys. We got to keep a little bit for us.
Yeah, right. We're gonna be, we're gonna go hitting our normal spots. People be like, bro, your podcast was tight last week. And be like, how do you know about this place? Get out of here.
Yeah, this town is bad enough with toy collectors. It's hard enough as it is. But we appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining us for this pilot episode.
Yeah,
I think
thank you
it's
so
good.
much for
Yeah.
listening.
And this is Mr. MOC, Mint on Card, AC.
Mr. Mint on Card, Mr. MOC, thanks for joining me on the. I just kicked this camera over here. My bad. Thanks for joining me on the first episode. It's been great.
Absolutely.
This is Sean O'Brien, the 80s kid. My Donkey Kong personal best score is 885,400. Don't let anybody steal your Chitara at Toys R Us if you ask for it first. And please join us for episode 2.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.